Okay, we're so back. My volume. Okay, testing, beep boop. Alright. Should do the check. Okay, well, it's blurring the hell out as usual. So, English. Game is not suitable for children or easily disturbed. Horror elements, human animal violence and death, abusive relationships, disturbing images, loud noises, flashing lights. If you suffer from anxiety, depression, or certain fears/phobias, you may not have a safe experience playing this game. For a full list of content/trigger warnings, go to the About section in the game's main menu. Thank you for the warning. If you identify with many of those, one or more of those terms, hop off now. Or prepare yourself, depending on. Please take care of yourself. Please take care of yourself. Thank you, game. And I'm going to say that to everybody else, too. Everyone watching this, take care of yourself. Alright, settings seem good. Oh, contains spoilers. Okay, then we're not looking at it. Please do not the cat. Well, obviously you know what I have to do. There's really only one way this could, like, possibly go. I have to the cat. I have to the cat. You're not having a great day, as usual. So quiet. Oh, great. It's the first time in a while that you felt like going out. But in the middle of your walk, it starts to rain. Typical. But maybe this is just a sign that you should have stayed home today. Yeah, you can always try again tomorrow. Right? You turn to head home when... Meow. Huh? What was that? Oh, there's music. It's just really quiet. There are only a few people around on the street. Makes sense due to the increase of missing persons around the area recently. Well, that and the weather. But none of them react to the sound at all. Curiosity guiding your steps, you follow the sound to the entrance of a dark, dingy alleyway. You timidly enter the alley and walk forward. The ground, dampened by the rain, makes your steps sound louder and more confident than you actually feel. I don't know if you guys heard that, but that was a meow. Finally, the sound source comes into view in the cold, dim light of the alley. And the end of the alley, in a big cardboard box, is a cat. Aww. Those big ol' eyes. Huh. Guess that should have been obvious. Yeah. It's an interesting looking cat. Its pretty yellow eyes shine like gold among the dark sea of its black fur. It puts its front paws up on the edge of the box and looks up at you. Meow. So cute. And it definitely knows it. You never had much of an opinion one way or another about cats before. This is a lie. I love cats. But if they're all like this one, it's a shock they haven't already found a way to rule the world. You don't think you'd mind bowing down to feline overlord. Sorry, what? You look around the alley with a small frown. Who leaves cats in cardboard boxes these days anyway? Wouldn't they just jump out and leave the box immediately? The cat doesn't answer you. Yeah, I didn't think it would. Obviously. It also doesn't do as you suggest and leave the box. It's just looking at you, as if waiting for you to make the next move. Take cat home. Good time to save the game. I mean, I have to take cat home. It's like, that's science. This is pure science. I have to take cat home. Cat is a cutie patootie. Cat is just a little guy, Your Honor. And I must take cat home. Take cat home. You know what? You reach into the box and pick the cat up, holding it out in front of you. Why not? Yeah. You're all alone, and well, I'm kind of in the same boat myself, so you bring the cat close. You didn't realize it was shivering until just then, but it slowly breathes easier as it presses into your chest. Why not stick together, right? At least for a little while. Purring cat sound. You think a little while will probably be more like a day. You'll be responsible and take it to a shelter tomorrow, but for now, let's get you out of the rain, okay? Very loud meow. You stop by a small local pet store for some cat food, then head back home. You live in a modest apartment. 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, 1 you living alone in it. So it feels weird having another living being inside it after so long. Even if it is just a cat. After locking this front door and placing the cat on the floor, you watch for a moment as it cautiously explores the new environment. Leaving the feline to its own devices, you set about making the both of you some dinner. You take out the can of cat food and open it with the tab on top. You put some cat food on a saucer and click your tongue to call the cat over to you. It perks up at your beckoning and rushes over. It looks at the plate of food and completely ignores it. Not hungry, I guess. You try not to let it annoy you. The cat doesn't understand the concept of money to appreciate that you spent your hard-earned cash on it. It's just a cat after all. I'll just leave it here if you get hungry later, okay? The cat rubs its body against your legs with a purr. You smile. That's enough of a thanks for you. It follows you into the kitchen as you start your own dinner. Yes, my mic sensitivity needs to go back up, I guess. Welcome. You decide that you have enough ingredients for a sandwich. Bread toasted, mayo and mustard spread, turkey and cheese and lettuce perfectly placed, tomato Ow! You wince as you cut your finger on the knife while slicing a tomato. Stupid. You feel a little embarrassed for such a blunder and sigh, tossing the knife onto the cutting board. You're about to head to the bathroom for a bandage when the cat hops up onto the counter. It sniffs at the knife and meows almost pointedly at you. Don't worry, I'm alright. It was just a... You watch as the cat starts to lick lightly but enthusiastically at the blood on the knife. At your blood. You're so shocked that by the time you come to your senses, the knife has been completely licked clean. It's so cute, though. The cat sits back, staring at you. You feel a little uneasy. Yeah, I would too. Sure, cats are meat-eating predators, but that was a little weird. Right? Sure, you're no cat expert, but that was definitely not something an ordinary cat would do. Right? Well, regardless, you're not about to abandon a cat in need when it's still raining outside. Not after all your efforts. My mic cannot decide whether I'm being too loud or too quiet. Swear to God. We were going to take it to the shelter tomorrow night. What's one night of awkwardness? Weird or not, it's just a cat. The rest of the evening, unfortunately, goes downhill from there. Even after covering up your fingers cut with a bandage, the cat keeps trying to lick at the wound. While you're eating your sandwich, while you're cleaning up the kitchen, while trying to watch TV. You gently push it away every time, but you're starting to get worried at the strange behavior. This is very Little Shop of Horrors. What if it's got a taste for blood and it thinks you're food now? You're not sure what you'll do if it starts to get more aggressive. You keep thinking about the cat food sitting in the corner, untouched. Oh, come on, enough already. You shove it away a little more forcefully this time out of annoyance. You feel bad immediately, but before you can do anything, the cat meows sharply at you and dashes off around the corner into the hall. You sigh deeply. At this point, you're just worried that it's going to take a bite out of you in your sleep. Maybe a vet will have an idea on how to calm it down? You can only hope. You don't have many options left other than tossing the cat out in the rain. After finding the number of a local vet, you pick up your landline and the lights just went out. Great. Just great. Rain must have knocked out the power. You check your cell phone only to find that it's out of batteries. You must have forgotten to charge it before leaving out earlier. The outing had been so spur of the moment that it no doubt messed with your usual routine. You grab a flashlight and turn it on. Oh, well, there we go. The daily, or the ever stream happens at least once. This probably won't be the last time. It's quiet. It's too quiet. Did the rain stop? But then, why did the power go out? You look outside. The sky is pitch black. What time is it? You turn to check the clock. The cat sits on top of your digital clock, staring at you. Thinking now, you realize the clock shouldn't be working at all with the power outage, but the numbers are lit up. Also, my camera quality is terrible, but if you can't see, it's changing a lot, and it does occasionally say kill and help. And going completely haywire. Yeah, that's putting it lightly. The cat stares up at you. It's completely still. You'd think it was a statue if you didn't know any better. It's not giving off any indication that it's alive. It's not blinking. It's not even breathing. But its eyes... This isn't normal. You're afraid. You want to run, but you're afraid of letting the cat out of your sight. You consider tossing the cat out after all. But as soon as the thought enters your head, you feel a sharp urge to vomit. Those eyes, its eyes hold you still. Even with your flashlight trained on it, its pupils are large, round, inky pits. The flashlight flickers. And the cat is gone. Fear immediately grips your mind. The silence, punctuated with the rapid pumping of blood in your heart, is overwritten as your ears slowly start to pick up the sound of static all around you. How is the clock working with no power? You don't know why such a question matters at the moment, but you feel as if having the answer will make sense out of everything that's happening. The order will be restored. But no answer comes to mind. You back away from the clock and feel as if the air itself coils tightly and abruptly in response, like a predator prepared to pounce, but waiting for your next move. But you're afraid to move. You're afraid to even take a breath. But you can't stay still forever, right? Whatever's watching you, you can already feel its impatience. It's too eager. You don't know how you know this, but you can sense it as clearly as if it had whispered, "Let's play." Right into your ear. Right into your soul. It won't let you wait it out. Not that you could, even if it did. You can't stay here. You have to run. With this thought, a sudden primal instinct awakens within you, making you tear yourself into a hasty burst of movement, of action. But you're still weak from the fear's grip in your mind. Your legs tangle together under you in your haste, and you fall to the ground. A sharp pain explodes in the center of your foot. At first you think you've broken your ankle, but something warm and wet trickles down the length of your foot, pooling underneath it. You hear the sound of metal scraping on tiles after skidding across the floor, as if it had been kicked. Winded from your fall, you look up in a daze and see the object glinting in a strange light coming in from outside. The light pouring in from your now open front door. Thoughts of how, when, who, what in regards to your inexplicably open door screech to a halt as your brain finally identifies the metallic object you've been staring at. It's your kitchen knife. It's still tinted red from your earlier blunder, but that's not right. Wasn't it completely licked clean by the... You gulp dryly at the pain in your foot. You barely have time to wonder how the knife ended up on your living room floor to be stepped on, instead of resting on your cutting board in the kitchen where you left it. When you spy something in the darkness just beyond the knife. It spies right back at you. A pair of glowing golden eyes come forward as the cat emerges from the shadows into the light from your doorway. It pads lightly over to the knife, as if skipping in delight. It bends down to lap at the blood dripping from the blade. Oh, but it's so cute. Your senses slowly begin to overwhelm you. The chill of the air as it starts to suffocate you under its weight. The sound of your shaky breaths discordant against the static, now piercing your skull. The dryness on your tongue spreading to your throat. The incomprehensible sight of the stray taken in, licking away at your kitchen knife, once again completely clean. The scent of blood from the fresh wound on your foot. Blood? Golden eyes slide up to you as if in response to your sudden realization. Blood. You're hurt. Your foot is bleeding. You're bleeding. You're bleeding. The cat barely moves, shoulders twitching as if just considering the act of pouncing forward. But you're already on your feet and out the door. You run, or rather limp, down the empty street. The sky is black and bleeding red. But there's a strange light emitting from nowhere that casts everything else in white. The houses, the trees, the road, even you. Everything. Except your blood. You can just barely glimpse the bloody imprints your injured foot leaves in your wake with every impact it makes from the ground. It hurts. It hurts. But you can't stop. You don't stop. Not when the shadows grow around you. Not when you feel the gaze of eyes all over you. Not when the road ahead of you is darkened by a long shadow of something behind you. Even then, you don't stop running because if that's the cat right there ahead of you, then what in the world is behind you? Okay, that's giving me chills. We're saving again. I think I kind of have to look behind me, but then I'll load and keep running. Huh. Interesting. How very, very interesting. Ending 0, it begins. Interesting. I wonder what was behind me. I don't like that it didn't tell me. How many endings are there? 40? Holy cow. Well, now we have to get more of them. Keep running. Huh. Interesting. How very, very interesting. Wait, what? Wait, so I get ending 0 no matter what decision I make here? Fun. Okay, let's load from Do Not Take Cat Home. With a sigh, you take a decisive step back. As cute as the cat is, you really can't afford to be taking a pet on a whim. Rent's come up soon, and your job doesn't exactly leave you rolling in dough. You give the cat a sad nod. Sorry, good luck out here, okay? You turn around and leave the cat in the alley behind. Rain's picking up. Time to head home. Ending ? Nya to fool. Hang on a second. Ending 0. It begins complete. Something happened. You think, anyway. You can't really remember what. So if I press continue, what happens? You're walking. Right. Of course. It's the first time in a while that you felt like going out. And you're actually glad that you did. The weather is absolutely perfect today. Oh, it's a time loop. That's a good sign, right? Maybe your luck is finally starting to turn around. You tentatively allow yourself to feel excited for the possibilities of where you could go or what you could do, maybe even who you could meet. You're so deep in thought that you almost miss it. Meow. Huh? What was that? Curiosity guiding your steps, you follow the sound to the entrance of a lonely alleyway. The sunlight only just manages to reach down in between the tall buildings on either side. You timidly enter the alley and walk forward, the loose gravel and scattered debris on the ground softening your steps. Meow. Finally, the sound source comes into view in the warm, almost ethereal light of the alley. At the end of the alley, in a big cardboard box, is a cat. Huh, guess that should have been obvious. Meow. It's an interesting looking cat. Its pretty yellow eyes shine like gold among the dark sea of its black fur. It puts its front paws up on the edge of the box and looks up at you. Meow. So... You look so... familiar. Right? Meow. Then again, it is a cat. Not many different ways for a standard black cat to look, after all. This one sure is a cutie, though. Just look. It's not glaring at you or hissing at you for getting this close like other stray cats have in the past. It's just sitting there patiently, waiting for you to do something. I will forever be known for safe scumming my way through games, but that's okay, because I want to know all the secrets. We gotta take Cat home. Look at how cute it is. Meow. Well, why not? Right? Meow. You barely reach up your arms before the cat eagerly leaps into them and climbs up onto your shoulders. It butts its head into your temple, nuzzling against it. Purr, purr, purr. You can't help but smile at the cat's enthusiasm. Let's get you out of here, yeah? Purr. On the way home, you briefly consider getting cat food. But that would be a waste of time. Huh? You shrug at the odd feeling and move on. You live in a modest apartment. 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, 1 you living alone in it. So it feels weird having another living being inside it after so long, even if it is just a cat. After locking the front door and placing the cat on the floor, you wait for it to walk away and explore the new environment. But it simply sits and looks up at you expectantly. Save a game. Do something with cat. Cat is so friendly. Let's do something with cat. Like what? Save the game again. Let's play with cat. Cat looks like he could use fun. Meow? Poor thing was probably bored stiff sitting in that old box all day, just watching crowds of people walking by them, ignoring them. You can't just leave them alone as soon as you're home. A little interspecies socializing won't kill you, right? Meow. Aw, you just want some attention, don't you? You want to play, huh? Meow. Okay, then. What to play, though? Cats like laser pointers. Yarn isn't actually good for cats. They can choke on the fibers. Hide and seek feels like it would end really badly with the premise of this game. So with laser pointer. Cats are curious creatures by nature. They're also natural hunters. Sort of. Why not pass the time by letting the cat hunt after something it'll never quite understand? That sounds a little mean when you think of it like that. But it's not like the cat will know anyway. Ignorance is bliss, or so they say. So you dig out your old laser pointer from your long-gone dreaded days of group presentations in school. Sorry. You flip it on and see, even after all this time, the batteries still work. You get a little kick out of aiming it at a mirror hanging in the living room so it reflects off the glass, making a little red dot appear on your knee. Meow. cat cautiously walks over, stopping every few steps to cast a look of suspicion at you. When it finally reaches you, it lightly presses a paw to your knee, like it's trying to catch the dot of red light as casually as possible. You manage to hold back a chuckle, not like it really matters. The cat isn't paying attention to you at all, entirely focused on the light resting on top of its paw. You move the light a little higher above your knee. The cat reacts immediately, trying to pin the light down, but then the next second you've already moved it to the floor. The cat jerkily follows, attempting a more energetic pounce as he shifts the red dot. Over here. Over there. And over here. By the couch. On the couch. Meow. The cat might be ignoring you, but you're certainly enjoying yourself. It's been a while since you've laughed this much. You're laughing so much, in fact, that you accidentally shift the red dot onto a lamp beside the couch. Meow! In its haste to get to the light, the cat leaps onto the lamp, sending the bolt to the ground. Crash! Oh my gosh! The cat is sitting in the middle of the former lamp's broken shards, back hunched, its tail whipping around back and forth as if in a panic. You quickly turn off the laser pointer and rush over. I'm so sorry, are you okay? Are you hurt? You reach down to pick up the cat and check it for any injuries when... Meow! Slash! Ow, hey! The cat swipes at you, claws extended. It backs up and twitches away, making frantic half-turns in various directions as if looking for something. Or waiting for something to appear. Ow, jeez, that really hurt, you know. You hold the hand with the scratch close to your chest. It's bleeding, but it's not too big. You're more annoyed than anything, but... Meow! Meow! Immediately, annoyance starts to bleed into concern. Meow! You watch in shock as the cat starts to run around, tearing at the carpet, the sofa, your armchair. You want to stop it, but you're afraid of getting in the middle of its rampage. You consider calling a vet for advice on how to calm it down, but for some reason, you feel like that wouldn't be a good idea. What happened to you? Is it... An idea comes to you, rather a realization. You grasp a laser pointer, aiming it safely away towards the floor in the middle of the living room, thinking, hoping, that the cat would calm down if it found what it was looking for. You turn on the laser pointer. The cat's reaction is immediate. Meow! Meow! I didn't make that sound. You screwed up. In the span of mere seconds, you watch as the cat spies the red dot from its perch on the shredded armchair. It leaps high into the air. Changes in the air. Crash. And slams down upon the dot on the floor with a weight and force that shakes the whole apartment. Maybe even the whole building. You wonder dazedly how none of the other tenants have rushed over to complain about the noise. Yet as you stare at the sight in front of you, the cat has somehow grown in size. Eyes bulging and glowing. Tail thrashing. Teeth enlarged, bared and covered arm alarmingly in a bubbling froth. Its giant claws rip and shred through the carpet, through the floor tiles, and even below them, ravenously trying to get at the red dot. Your hands are shaking. You don't know what to do. You feel trapped. You have to get away. Get it away from you. You slowly back up towards the door. The light moves with you. Instinctively, you flick the light away, this way and that, the cat stampeding after. So fast. Smashing through the TV, breaking the couch in half. Crash, crash. Too fast. Bulldozing through the wall into the hallway. Crash. A chance. You return, intending to bolt out of the door and never come back, but in your haste, you forget something. You forget several somethings. You forget the razor pointer gripped like a lifeline in your hand. You forget the mirror still miraculously hanging on the wall next to the hallway, the laser reflecting off of it, putting a small glowing red dot on the back of your head. And as you reach the door, you forget that it's locked. You don't even have the chance to turn around before the cat lunges all the way across the room at you. You're torn to shreds before you can even blink. Ending 12, targeted. Interesting. Okay, so now we have 2 of 40 counted endings. This is excellent. The amount of chills I'm getting while reading this is so good. I did not expect this to be this good. Anyway, I'm going to try the other types of playing with cat. What other games can we play with cat? Look for some yarn. Yes. If every movie and cartoon involving cats that you've watched since childhood is to be believed, then you can deduce with almost absolute certainty the cats freaking love yarn. Probably. You unearth some from an old box in the hallway closet that's filled with knickknacks from various abandoned hobbies. You consider just handing the ball of bright red yarn over to the cat and supervising from the side, but that would defeat the idea of playing together, wouldn't it? You cut off a small length of string or a decent length of string from the ball of yarn and go back to the living room. The cat is resting on the floor. Oh! It's not asleep, but when it looks up as you enter the living room, you feel like it could doze off right then and there. You'll fix that. You smirk a little, confident with your surprise, and let the piece of yarn dangle just above the floor, pinched between your thumb and index finger. This sudden shift in the cat's demeanor makes your heart start to beat a little faster. Its posture's barely changed at all. Just a subtle shift of the head and ears. A slight tension in the shoulders. A sharpness in its gaze as it locks onto the yarn dangling an inch above the floor. The cat could still pass as being almost relaxed. Calm. And yet the air is thick with its eagerness to lunge forward, waiting for the right moment to strike. You feel like you've just witnessed the awakening of the perfect predator. You're almost afraid of what will happen once you make the first move. But it will be you who makes the first move. You take a deep breath. Relax your shoulders. Which, by the way, good reminder for everybody watching this. Relax your shoulders. Right now. Do it. And... meow! Yoink! The cat had lunged the instant you wiggled the yarn, but you are faster. It completely misses as you flick your wrist, making the yarn recoil out of its reach like a terrified snake. Having overshot the landing in its eagerness, the cat stumbles and looks around as if shocked at its failed attack. You generously click your tongue to help her on her tail. The cat whips its head around at the sound. You're suddenly taken aback by the intensity of its stare on the yarn. But you persist. You wiggle the yarn again, encouragingly, and yes, maybe a little tauntingly. This time the cat anticipates the yarn's upward dodge and leaps up to swipe at it, but you're already one step ahead, puppeting the yarn to grace dancefully out of reach once more. Meow! Come on, you can do it. It's a little condescending, but you can't seem to help it. For some reason, it feels a little good knocking the feline down a peg or two. Meow, meow. At least it seems to be enjoying itself. You hope, anyway. You keep going. Meow, meow, meow. Must be getting frustrated. Could swear it nearly took a shot at your eye that last time. It jumped so high and erratically. You've been keeping the yarn in constant motion, afraid to slow down. Your wrist is starting to get tired. The cat doesn't seem to be losing any energy, though. It's like it's getting faster and faster. Meow! Flick. Meow! Flick. Meow! Flick. Your wrist finally cramps sharply, making you lose control of the yarn's motion as the tip of it brushes lightly against your stomach. Slash. Ugh. Pain rips low across your torso, into your torso. Blood pours out of your mouth. In a daze, you look down and see red blooming slowly along the bottom of your shirt, among the tears in the fabric. Plop. You watch as long, thick ropes of something pour out from under your shirt into a bloody heap on the floor at your feet. A single red-streaked rope still hangs from you. connecting you to all that mess. Are those your... You crumble to the ground and topple over onto your side. Your vision has gone blurry. But... you can just make out the shape of something small in a deep, inky black as it walks over and inspects your... Oh god, they're your intestines. Before it starts to giddily roll around in the mass of your bloody insides next to you. Meow, meow. Darkness falls over you. Meow. The cat sounds happy. Nonsensically, you wonder where the arm has gone, but there's really no need to worry about it. The cat seems content with the next best thing. Ending 11 at the end of your rope. I see what you did there. I see what you did there. Okay, yeah. Excellent. That was not where I was expecting that to go, but I'm glad it did. That freaked me the hell out. Okay, let's load from there. Oh my god, not again. Okay. One day there will be a better setup. One day. But until that day, you're all forced to suffer with me. Anyway, play with cat. We haven't tried hide and seek yet, which I know is going to kill me, but, you know. Hide and seek classic. What about hide and seek? Meow? You're not quite sure how this is gonna work. Can a cat even understand the concept of a game? Let alone one with rules like hide and seek? Here, just pick up the cat and turn them away from you before hiding behind the armchair. You're almost certain the cat must have turned and looked while you were hiding. Out of confusion, at least, if nothing else. Meow. Regardless, a few moments later, the cat cautiously peeks out around the armchair at you, eyes curious. You smile and scoop it up, holding it out in front of you. You found me! You win! Meow, meow! The cat looks confused, but pleased at your praise. This time, you put it on the armchair so it can't see your hiding spot as easily. I actually used to do this with my friend's dog. You would throw a toy for him, and he would run and get the toy, and then you would hide, and he could find you pretty fast. It was pretty impressive. This time, you put it on the armchair so it can't see your hiding spot as easily. You dash over to the kitchen, hiding behind the counter. It takes a little longer this time for the cat to find you. This time when it does, it startles you by hopping down to your left from the countertop above. Whoa! Meow, meow. You found me again. Meow. Okay, you win. You reward it with little scratches behind the ear and under the chin when it leans into your touch. Purr, purr. Okay, why don't you give it a try? Meow? You go and stand in the middle of the living room. The cat following you. You make a show of covering your eyes and turning around. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! You turn around and see that the cat is gone. You should catch on quick. There aren't many places available in your apartment for someone your size to hide. But without the opposable thumbs needed to open the closed doors in the hall, the cat will have its limits too. Fair game. Okay, now where to look. In case these kill me, okay, we're gonna check the living room first. You look behind the couch in the armchair, then under the coffee table. Nothing. The living room is pretty sparse when it comes to furniture, after all. Okay, I guess we're just going through these till we find it. Kitchen check. You peek around the counter, grab a chair and check on top of the fridge. You'll even open the cupboards along the floor just in case the cat managed to squeeze inside. Nothing. You decide that's for the best. The kitchen is for making food, not playing games. Hallway, I guess. You peek around the corner into the hall. Nothing. You're not even sure what you were expecting. With all the doors closed, there's no one in the hall for the cat to hide. You couldn't find the cat anywhere. You start to get a little worried and you hear a soft sound coming from the hall. You head to the hall and listen again. Scratch, scratch. That sounded like it was coming from your bedroom, but you walk down the hall to your room and gingerly open the door. Meow! Yeah! The cat trots out and runs around your legs and meowing insistently. Meow, meow! It looks disappointed somehow. Perhaps in your apparently subpar seeking skills. But lift the cat into your arms and look at your bedroom door. How did you get in my room? Meow. You know the door was closed, right? The cat wiggles out of your hold and runs out of the hall. You follow to see it sitting in the middle of the living room. Meow. Upon seeing you, the cat promptly turns around. Guess it wants to take its turn seeking? You're about to indulge it by hiding around the corner again when... The lights... Did the power go out? Darn it. As you wait for your eyes to adjust to the darkness, you notice that the cat hasn't moved an inch. Was it scared? Hey, are you... Ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. What? For some reason, I don't know if you guys can see this properly. Lovely art on the screen. You cannot see it. Alright, well, the cat's still sitting there. For some reason, your heart starts beating faster. You consider going over to the cat. But when you do, the thought makes you feel... You feel like your life is in danger. Well, that's a very clear feeling to have. You need to hide. Now. Oh, we're being timed. Okay. Okay, hide in your bedroom, ... Can I get out of the apartment? Getting out of the apartment seems like it'll probably... You have to go to the front door when... You look at the door and see several more locks of it than you know you have. You peek over at the cat. It's not looking at you, but you feel a wave of disappointment practically pouring from it onto you. It feels almost like a warning. You back away from the door and the feeling slowly subsides, letting you breathe again. There's no getting out then. You need to hide. Okay, can't leave the apartment. Hide behind the kitchen counter. You've hidden there before and it found you almost instantly. That won't work. Okay. Armchair, same thing. Hall. Just in the hall, there's nowhere to hide in the hall. Hallway closet? Okay, hallway closet. Quietly slip into the hallway closet. The door won't close because now a heavy box is now blocking it if you squeeze inside. If you try to move it further, the cat might hear it. That is, if he hasn't heard you already. This won't work, you need to hide somewhere else. Hurry. Oh shit, there's only 30 seconds. Okay, hide in the bathroom. You quickly rush into the bathroom and click. What? Why is the door locked? You freeze upon how much noise you've made, jostling the doorknob and hold your breath, listening. The silence coming from the living room feels heavier than before, more restless. Even if some miracle opened the doorknob, it would know exactly where you were. No good. Hide in your bedroom. You quickly rush into the bedroom, carefully closing the door behind you. The only place to hide in your bedroom is your closet. Hide in the closet! You lock the door as quietly as you can before lunging into the closet and sliding the door shut. As soon as you secured yourself in the closet, there's a sudden shift throughout the entire apartment. It's as if something can sense that you're ready as you'll ever be. As if it can sense that you're ready to be hunted. A horrible chill runs down your spine as you realize that that's what this game has become. This isn't a simple game of hide and seek anymore. This is being hunted by a predator. as prey. It never really mattered where you chose to hide, did it? Oh, I just jumped so bad. As if in answer to your question, you hear a loud slam on the bedroom door. You just managed to hold back from making a startled noise at the sound. Bam, bam. Your heart rate clicks up again, making it feel hard to breathe quietly. Hard to breathe in general. Bam, bam, bam. Tears fill your eyes as you cover your panting mouth with your shaking hands. It knows, crying with your hands over your mouth, trying to smother the choked sounds leaking out of you. You slide down the wall at the back of your closet into the heap on the floor. Oh, it just broke through. You flinch harshly at the sound of the door being ripped off its hinges, followed by a loud crash against the wall on the other side of the room, like the door had been blown away. The silence that follows is almost too much to bear. If I jump too bad at this and I knock the camera down again, I'm very sorry for anyone who gets motion sick. You can't sob. A single sob escapes through your nose. You squeeze your eyes shut in defeat at how loud it sounds in the quiet of the room. Not much point in hiding it anymore in any way, is there? You instinctively put whatever energy you have left into listening for footsteps, even as you emotionally shut down. But you hear nothing. 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 Then, something slides open the closet door. You've curled in on yourself. Knees up. Back curved forward. Head down. Mouth covered. Eyes shut tight. So tight it hurts. You don't want to look. You don't want to look. But that's what it's waiting for. It won't end you without this final act of cruelty. Of making you look at it before it takes your life. So cruel. You just want this to be over. So, you open your eyes. You see, camera's not loading it, but there is a single cat eye. Something glaring in at you from the darkness beyond the closet door. It looks disappointed. In this moment, before you draw your last breath, you almost consider apologizing for being such unworthy prey. Guess your hiding skills were just as subpar as your seeking skills. Ending 13, disappointing prey. Okay, so I didn't actually get to find out how I died. How many endings? 4 out of 40, okay. Oh, wait. I continued on accident. You're walking. Right, of course. It's the first time in a while that you felt like going out. And you're actually glad that you did. Okay, this seems the same. This is the same. What happens if I do not take Cat home? Sadly, as cute as the cat is, you'd never take this thing home with you. You just can't take it home with you. You're a responsible adult. Meow. You are. With rent and bills to pay for, not to mention you need to buy food to survive too. There's no way you could care for a cat long term, right? You could barely afford this little outing on your day off. Meow. What to do? That's an interesting button. Saving the game again. I want to know what this one does. You are not ready. Okay, I can't do that yet. I think I probably need to unlock more endings before I can do that. Leave cat. You don't think it's a good idea to get the cat's hopes up of having someone look after it if you're not willing to commit? What if it gets attached and someone tracks you down back to your home? I believe for a split second there it said you can't get away from it then. Sorry. See you around, I guess. You stand up, the cat watching your every move. You make it halfway out of the alley when the cat meows almost pitifully at you. Meow, meow, meow. Ignore. We can do it. No, nope. You need to nip this in the bud and get on with your day. It's what's best for the both of you. You leave the alley and continue on your way. Wait, what was I doing? In all of the excitement of dealing with your furry dilemma. Sorry, one sec. Sorry, 1 second. Alright. For dilemma, you'd forgotten that you still hadn't decided on what you were going to do for your day off. I think I'll go... Okay, so I appear to be out of Catland. Or cat territory. Dog park. Cat can't get me to dog park. You decide to take a stroll into park or something. The only within walking distance is the nearby dog park. You think it'll make you feel better. First you get to see a cute cat today, now you get to see a cute dog. Several of them, in fact. The park is bustling with owners and their canine companions. Playing frisbee, fetch, running, jumping, even napping. Such cutie... whatever. Like you'd want anything to do with those mangy mutts. Huh? What's wrong? You didn't think that. You decide to move on. The cats are also... Cats? The dogs are also adorable. You want to pet every single one you come across. But you know not all owners are cool as strangers just walking up and manhandling their pets. Not all dogs appreciate it either. So you stroll around the path, trying to exude a welcoming aura that will beckon one of these cute doggies to you. You don't have to wait very long. Bark. You stop as the cutest, smallest puppy you've ever seen scampers up to you, blocking your path. Sorry, what the hell are these options? Leave the park, kick the puppy, kill the puppy, eat the puppy, pick up the puppy. Well, I know I'm gonna have to try all these options. I really don't want to, but I'm gonna pick up the puppy. You pick up the puppy and... Hold on. You just barely managed to rein in the reflex to throw the puppy as far away from you as possible. With several shaking hands. With shaking hands, you quickly place the puppy on the grass and take several jerky steps back. The owner seems confused by your reaction to their puppy, but you just wave at them in a daze before hastily stumbling away. You're not feeling so great at being at the park at the moment. Maybe you should leave. Stay at the park. You stay at the park! You try to calm down by watching all the dogs from afar as you walk along the path, but every so often one will run up to you. And when they do, they look... wrong. Their owners don't seem to notice. You find a branch and sit down for a quick break, closing your eyes. Maybe this wasn't the best idea after all. Maybe... Again, camera not picking it up, but the cat's eyes are on screen. Very, very pale. You should have stayed with me instead. You're broken out of your thoughts and something lands gently on your lap. You look down and see a frisbee on your thighs. Hey, sorry about that. Can you throw that back? You look up to see an owner wave at you in the distance. But more importantly, bark, bark, bark. Bark! 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 A series of excited barks jerks your gaze forward and you see a large dog sprinting towards you. Hey, hurry and throw back. Oh, throw. You throw the frisbee and the dog runs in the opposite direction, jumping it and catching it right out of the air. Impressive. The dog and the owner walk up to you. Thanks for that. You can pet him if you want. The dog looks up to you. I'm sorry, why does it look like that? Eager birds rewarded pets and pats for catching the frisbee. Should I? Pet dog. I'm not going to leave. It can't make me. Really? Are you sure? I'm warning you. Do not touch that mutt, or you will regret it. Pet the dog. You can't make me do anything. I'm petting this dog. You reach out your hand. And you pet the dog. The dog seems pleased. You don't feel well. Suddenly, the sky begins to darken rapidly. You look up along with all the pet owners to see that the sun has been eclipsed by the moon in the blink of an eye. You vaguely remember that you should never look directly at an eclipse, but for some reason, you don't look away. I know my PNG tuber picked that up, but that wasn't me. A loud piercing yowl fills the air, shaking the ground beneath you. You instinctively move to lift your hands in order to shield your ears, but the hand that had been cautiously pressed upon the dog's head comes away with some resistance. Resistance, like sticky slime almost cementing your hand to the dog's head. The slime stretches with your movement. The dog's head stretches with it too as the canine begins to just melt. It melts and melts until it becomes a pile of goo at your feet. You dazedly look around for the dog's owner only to find an empty pile of familiar clothes where they once stood. You see similar piles of clothes next to piles of goo scattered all across the park's open field. All the dogs, all their owners. The melted goo of the melted goo of the dog in front of you then starts to move with a shudder. It slithers across the grass toward the field in the center of the park. I have to move my camera again for some reason. All the other piles of goo following after it. They mix and meld together into a single entity that shifts and undulates and bulges and grows. Just had to turn up my screen brightness, that was what was wrong. Pick up too much of the music. You watch in dazed horror as it then fills out and shapes itself. Into a behemoth of a dog. Snarling and frothing at the mouth. Mouth. Red eyes, frantic and searching. Before the glowing orbs land directly on you. The rumbling growl it emits is so low and deep, you can feel the sound of it crash into you. Leave the park? Cat's eyes are here again. Somehow my brightness is at max and you still can't see them. No. You had your chance. Better start running. You try to run, but you're not fast enough. The behemoth barely takes a few leaps before it's already towering over you. It tears you apart until there's nothing left. 92. Dog person. Or 21. Dog person. This is why I'm a cat person, guys. This is so interesting. Okay, I'm gonna go back to playing with the cat and try the other hiding spot. Here, sit on the couch. Are you joking? Get the feeling the cat won't appreciate lack of effort. Anyway, like hell are you getting any closer to it? Stop messing around and find a place to hide. So if I click all the other buttons, and I go through it all, and I click all through the buttons, it doesn't let me out. If I click hide in your bedroom, risk another hiding spot. There is no other hiding spot. Okay. Let's load back here. Try literally any other than the dog park. Watch a movie. It's been a while since a film came out that looked interesting enough for you to drag yourself to a movie theater. But there's a showing of one such film at the old theater. The movie was a little too niche to be picked up by the new cinema that opened right across the street. That's okay though, you're not exactly a fan of the crowds. And nothing ruins the experience of watching a new movie for you more than a noisy audience. Go to the old theater. You eagerly buy your tickets from the kind old man in the booth and head inside. It's barren of any trace of other people, and the decor looks like it hasn't changed since the 80s. Maybe even the 70s. But it's what you were counting on. You consider buying some popcorn, but can't help but be concerned that everything at the concession stand might be expired. You move on and walk through the halls, finally locating the theater designated on your ticket stub. As expected, the theater your movie will be playing in is completely empty. Perfect. Pick a spot right in the middle, even counting the seats and taking into consideration the gap at the staircase. Nerd! As you settle in, the dim lights fade away, leaving the room pitch black for a few seconds. Before the screen flickers on, no commercials or trailers pop up, the movie just begins. Pleased, you shrug and let yourself get immersed in the opening scene. But just as you're getting into the premise, doors open behind you, momentarily casting light into the room and ruining the atmosphere. You hold in a frustrated sigh. It's a public establishment after all. The place can't exactly afford to stay open if you're the only customer. You try to refocus on the movie, but you notice the new presence slowly shifting around the theater, before heading in your general direction. What? You gape in utter disbelief as the stranger shuffles down the aisle, only to sit right in front of you. There's no one else here, and plenty of spaces to sit. The stranger is also unusually tall. Even with the stadium-like arrangement of the seats being on a somewhat steep incline, they're completely blocking your view. It's fine. I'll just move. It's fine. You don't want to risk escalating the situation further. This whole thing is already making you uneasy. Why would they choose to sit right in front of you? Surely they know you wouldn't be able to see past them. Shaking your head with a passive-aggressive scoff in the stranger's direction, you reluctantly pick another, less perfect seat in the theater. But as you settle down, you see the strange person get up. Only once again to sit down in the seat directly in front of you. You look around somewhat helplessly as if waiting for someone to silently agree with you about how odd all of this is. It's me, I agree. Or to at least inform you that it's all an elaborate prank. But there's no one else here with you. That's how you've always liked it, but you can't help but think that maybe it would be nice to have someone else here if it meant not being alone with this weird jerk. How many times can I move? Move again. And again, they sit right in front of you. You bristle, annoyed and a little humiliated. Are they just getting a kick out of this or something? You've wasted enough time with this jerk that you don't even know what's going on in the movie anymore. Confront the stranger. Get out of my way, bitch. You hate confrontation. You can already feel your palms starting to sweat at the idea of it. Your throat's closing up and your body's starting to shake. Oh, okay, we're having a full allergic reaction to confrontation. You've always been more of a flighter than a fighter. But you paid for this ticket. You've wanted to watch this movie for ages, and now this total stranger has ruined the entire experience for you. You're all alone in this theater. There's no one who will help you if something goes wrong. but you're angry enough that you ignore the signs of your body begging you to put as much distance as you can between yourself and this stranger. You stand up. Even standing and higher up on the incline, the stranger is still at least a head taller than you. The movie continues to play in the background, but you feel as if a hush falls heavily over the theater at your movement, as if you can sense the stranger anticipating what you plan to do next. You square your shoulders and force a little bass in your voice. Hey! The effort makes your words come out more harshly than you intended, like a sudden vicious bark. But you figure they deserve it anyway. You being a real jerk, you know that? Just what are you playing at, huh? Are you trying to piss me off? The silence that follows your words is deafening. So much so that you glance at the screen only to find that the movie is paused. Your attention is ripped back to the stranger in front of you as they shift slightly, like a small animal trying desperately to anticipate the moves of a predator. You don't move an inch. You don't look away. You don't dare to blink. Instead, your eyes widen as the person's head turns. I have a guess. Then turns some more. Okay, that wasn't what I was expecting quite. I thought it would be the cat's eyes. Then turns more, beyond what should be passable, neck bones cracking, to face you directly. You can't move. Wide, glowing eyes resting above a wider, grinning mouth gaze down at you. A stranger opens their mouth and what comes out is something impossible to comprehend. Please stop doing that and never make that sound again. The voice is endlessly deep and creaks like a weighty door, foreboding and oddly melodic. Alluring. But it also snaps you out of your terrified trance, and before you know it, you're already out the door. You run through the halls of the empty theater, heading for the exit. You feel something watching you from behind, but you're too afraid to look. The exit now in sight, you sprint forward and burst through the doors. You look frantically around to spot the crowded cinema across the street. People, that's what you need. Safety numbers and all that. Without thinking, you rush into the street when a sinking sensation crawls down your spine, compelling you to look behind you. Don't look behind you. Don't look behind you. Don't look behind you. Don't look behind you. I'm gonna save. And then I'm gonna look behind me, because obviously, despite your resistance, you feel your head turning to look back of its own accord. While in the middle of the street, you catch a glimpse of a grotesque-looking person standing behind the glass doors of the old theater, watching you intensely, cradling something in their arms. Something familiar. But... oh, I got hit by a truck. A glimpse is all you get, as a truck speeds forward and crashes into your body.